What's going on to everyone? Tim Steve here, back again with another video. Tonight I'll be reviewing NXT from tonight. So before I get into reviewing NXT, I would just like to say, if you have not subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. Let's help it grow. It would help a lot if you would subscribe. That being said, let's get into the video. The first opening match is Dakota guy versus Raquel Gonzales, and Raquel Gonzales versus Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. Now, my thoughts is this: Raquel Gonzales was basically dominated the first couple minutes of the match. It was a good back and forth match it was a really good back and forth match. I'm not gonna lie. And then Ember Moon, Shotzi Blackheart ended up picking up the victory. After the match, Raquel attacks Shotzi and Ember Moon, and afterwards, Dakota makes Ember Moon watch Raquel beat up Shotzi outside of the ring. So we could be seeing Ember Moon versus Raquel Gonzales at NXT TakeOver in your house. It could be a good possibility. Then we go over to Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa, basically saying they want those tag team titles from MSK, but yet they still have a score to settle with grizzled young veterans. Again, another good possibility for NXT TakeOver in your house. So the next match, Bobby Fish versus Pete Dunne. Let me start by saying, it was a good technical match. Bobby Fish looked really, really good. And as always, Pete Dunne's very, very vicious. So Pete Dunne ends up beating Bobby Fish with the bitter end. Then after the match, Oney Lorcan attacks Bobby Fish in his shoulder. I could possibly see one or two things: Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan versus Bobby Fish and maybe Roderick Strong if he comes back. I don't think he will, but we could see that happening. Or we could see Oney Lorcan just versus Bobby Fish. So then we go backstage. Mercedes Martinez cuts a promo saying, she learned from her mistakes versus Raquel Gonzales, and she basically wants a rematch with Raquel. But then after Mercedes goes to the ring, you got Boa. He's coming out of the door, so we could possibly Boa has some interest, you could say, in Mercedes Martinez. Then we have Hit Row cutting a promo saying they're ready for gold. Swerve, obviously he wants maybe the North American title or the NXT title. Then you got Ashanti Adonis and Top Dollar. They want either tag team titles, or Ashanti Adonis wants the cruiserweight title from Kushida. Either or, that could happen. Honestly, then I want to. And BFAB, I think if she can wrestle, I want to see her in a wrestling match first before we can say, we can put her in a title match for the women's championship. But honestly, I want to see her in the ring. I mean, she could talk. She's good on the mic, but I want to see her wrestle at least one match. Then now we got Mercedes Martinez versus Zendaya Ramir. That was basically a squash match. Ramir did though put up a fight, but again, Mercedes gets the win. After that, Mercedes gets marked. So we possibly seeing Tian Shaw and Xia Li making a return to NXT TV. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later. down the road. So I can't wait to see what it goes from there. All right, next that we have that $1 million face-off with Ted DiBiase and Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes basically said, I looked up to you. I wanted to be just like you. But then Ted starts saying, he's looking for that one individual that can, be that top guy, that $1 million guy. But then LA Knight interrupts, saying, he is that guy. But now it looks like, Cameron Grimes now getting cheers. So, possibly a babyface feud with LA Knight, which probably could be leading up to the $1 million championship coming back at NXT TakeOver in your house. After a commercial, we'll be seeing the debut of Franky Monet. She's making her in-ring debut. So when we come back from commercial, Indy Hartwell is basically looking for Dexter. Like, she's going in every single room. She interrupts Everrise from their show, so to speak, and they aren't happy about it because she interrupted. And then Drake Maverick comes out and says, he's in that. I saw him in that room. She goes in. There's pictures of his broken heart, basically broken heart. So she's upset because she thinks that he's hurt. So then after that, we get the debut of Franky Monet versus Cora Jade. Obviously, Franky Monet gets the victory, but Cora Jade, she put up a good fight. I know some people are gonna say, that's still Taya Valkyrie for me, but that's what it's. She's doing a good job. I think she did a good job in the ring tonight. Both of them did, even though it was a squash match. So after the match, Grizzly Young Veteran says they are done with Ciampa and Thatcher, but they're not done with MSK. So they're basically saying, we want MSK, not Ciampa and Thatcher, but we're gonna probably see that match down the road. Then we cut to a Imperium promo vignette with Walter saying failure is unacceptable, and then that Eichner and Bartel, he wants them to get Imperium back on track by beating Breezango, who beat them for the NXT Tag Team titles. That was pretty interesting. I can't wait till we see that. So next we have Bronson Reed celebrating his NXT champion, North American Championship title win. He's basically saying, people are gonna start coming after, but they got a big mountain to climb. As soon as he says that, Santo Escobar and Legado del Fantasma come out, and it looks like he wants a shot at Bronson Reed, saying he's, I'm made for championships. So, and then they all surround Bronson, but then MSK comes and makes the save. So next week, we got Legado del Fantasma versus MSK for the NXT Tag Team titles. And then William Regal just announced next week there will be a number one contenders match between Johnny Gargano versus Pete Dunne versus Kyle O'Reilly, and a number one contenders match for the NXT title. Whoever wins that match will go to NXT TakeOver to face either Karrion Kross or Finn Balor. Now, we're on to our main event. Killer Kross versus Finn Balor 2. Now, I'll be honest with you, it was a really good match. It totally surpassed their first encounter at Stand and Deliver. It was just, they were both going at each other's injuries. Kross obviously going for Finn's jaw, and then Finn Balor going for Kross's shoulder. Both of them did really well. Kross retains by submission. Finn just passed out. Honestly, that it was a good episode of NXT. I hope everyone enjoys this video. I hope you like. I hope you subscribe. Please do. So I'm going to go, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much, and have a great day.